good to see you, brother. First, I think you're going to be the last person I say Happy New Year to, because I think that's it.
That's it.
And also, how was the vacation?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was a well-needed vacation. It was our first vacation since before COVID. So I waited it out as long as I could.
Where'd you end up going?
Cuba, Cuba,
Oh,
Santa
nice.
Maria, man. That beach is just completely just lovely, beautiful. Me and my
And what about
fiance had the time of our life.
and what about food and drink?
Food and drink is a whole nother story, but we focus on the positive over here.
I won't touch anything else. But look, before you left for vacation,
Yes.
because we follow each other on social media, I saw something pop up, and you know that I DM'd you immediately and said, "We got to talk about this."
Yes, that's why I
What
love you,
was
brother.
what was the post that you put up, man? That so exciting. It's going on in your career.
I put together a band, myself, Drew Grange, and the Recipe combined are soul nostalgic. We are a
Wow.
throwback R&B soul band. I'll be throwing some of my originals in there now and then, but it's mostly a 70s to 2000s throwback, authentic, soul band.
Now, why did you decide to do that? Because even though every once in a while I may hear an artist attempt to do that, and it might hit the radio waves, uh, I find when it comes to top 40 radio, we don't hear enough of this. But
Yes, and I
and again, I don't want to speak for you, but I find when I hear those songs being played, or a group or an artist like yourself singing it,
yes.
the place goes mad. Or if which I don't go to as much, when I'm at a club, they might throw something out new, and people are like, but if they throw some kind of old school beat, they go mad. So I'm going to ask you,
Timeless.
why did you decide to do this?
For some of those same reasons, like I miss those songs, I miss that music, and myself and my fiance have been looking for somewhere where we can get dressed up, go have a
Yeah.
nice dinner, but still have that little bit edgy, kind of just nostalgic, those songs that kind of gets everyone going. It just kind of brought to me in a authentic way. Like I feel like there's like you said, a lot of people have tried to do it different ways, and I respect how a lot of other artists have kind of brought this type of show together, but no one has done it in this way. And I think because I couldn't find it, I was like, you know what, I'm going to create it. And I think and that's what I've done, and I'm just so amped. I'm so excited, brother, to just present this, for the city. Toronto needs it.
It's kind of funny. While you were talking, I was thinking to myself, man, the youngsters don't know how good
Oh,
somebody like myself, who's older than you, but somebody like myself who knew how to, like you said. I mean, imagine now a 15 or 16-year-old wearing a double-breasted suit or a three-piece suit,
woo.
with hat, shoes, going
Yes.
out to a party where everybody else is dressed up. The red
Yeah.
light bulb is in, and
Yes.
that music that you are talking about is playing, or even getting a little bit older and going to the clubs where you don't have to line up forever. You don't have to stand, because the only people allowed to sit are the ones who are paying $600 for a bottle that would cost
Yes.
35 bucks. I could keep
Oh,
going and going and going with this, man.
yes.
Where do you think you could take your nostalgia to in Toronto? Like, have you already made plans? What's going on? What's the next step with this?
Okay, so I gotta give a big shout out to Moses from Aqua Supper Club, and Adrian McCullough, Mr. Mayor, the Umbrella Group. You know, um, I actually put this together and I shot like a little commercial that I was gonna just pitch to, like, casinos, resorts, high-end, private events. We're all gonna be dressed up in black and white tuxedos, full dance choreography, horn section, full band. I had shot this commercial and I was just posting just stills. I didn't want to give too much away, so I was posting just stills from the commercial shoot. And Adrian McCullough, other known as Mr. Mayor, he hit me up and he's like, yo, Drew, what is this? What are you doing? Right. And I kind of explained it to him, and I told him the types of songs. And, I'm like, I've never really seen a cover band do, Tony Feels Good. I've never seen a cover band do Aaliyah's One in a Million. I haven't seen this in just an authentic way but still with the sophistication that era had, and he was like, yo, I'm working with Aqua Supper Club, and they want something like this, like sophisticated soul. I'm like, well, that's right down our alley. Like let's talk. So after talking to them and talking to Moses, the owner of the restaurant, I explained it to him, and he's like, you know what? I don't think this should just be a show. I think this should be a residency. So I was like, oh my goodness, like you're speaking my language. I'm watching, Usher's residency in Vegas. I'm watching New Edition's residency in Vegas that's coming up. I'm like, Toronto needs a Vegas style dining experience show, here, so people don't have to spend insane amounts of money to buy their ticket, book their flight, book their hotel. You can have it here and it be authentic, and something that we can grow, and people know, okay, every Thursday I'm going to Acqua Supper Club to get that soul nostalgic, to get that real authentic R&B soul show. And God willing, this is just it's miraculous how things happen, because I was like, after I was shooting the commercial, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to pitch this, and it might take a while for me to get a residency, but I'm just gonna do it. And I spent the money I had to spend to shoot it and put the dancers and the band together and everything. And I'm like, hopefully, please, I hope I can work out some kind of residency. And, from my mouth to God's ears, he made it happen. So right now we're going to be at Acqua Supper Club, launching February 15th. So the first 4 dates are February 15th, February 29th, March 7th, and March 14th. But Acqua Supper Club has made it very clear that they want to make this long-term residency. So these are the first dates, and I guarantee you have not seen a show like this. Putting together with the recipe, the powerhouse band, like these guys came from playing in church, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little different from just a cover band. These guys just they hit you in your soul. When you hear these guys play, I'm still blown away. We just had a rehearsal 2 nights ago, and I'm still on a high from it, because it's like these guys are just so amazing. And for me to have the opportunity to go back, into these songs that raised me, like one of the first songs I ever performed when I was 15 in high school was Can You Stand the Rain? And I was, insanely nervous. And I think I may have even told you this story a little while back, that, they had me singing the Ralph Tresvant, "'Cause I need somebody who'll stand by me through the good times and bad times." And my legs were shaking, my face was shaking, but that was my first performance. And now to be able to do that, which that song just might be in the show, people, so look out for it. I don't want to give too much away, but to actually have that opportunity now to be able to do these songs, man, it's just amazing. And I really feel, our era is really going to appreciate this. But not only our era, we've raised children, and, my daughter, who's now turning 19, my stepdaughter who just turned 14, now hearing me rehearse, and, I've put them on to all the New Edition stuff and the Luther Vandross stuff and the Jodeci and the Stevie Wonder. Like, they know all these songs, so they're almost more excited than me to be able to come out to these shows. And which is, I want to express too, it's a family event, so you can bring your children. It's a dinner, it's a restaurant setting, but they're gonna get a powerhouse concert that no one has seen before.
Okay, now look, there's a couple of things I want to throw out there. Number one, we're almost in a complete agreement. And again, I'm not knocking the artists of today, but there is something about from 1970 to 2000, in between there. What do you think that is? Because I know for me, no, actually, I'm going to let you answer that. I won't answer that. I'm going to let you answer it.
I think there's a certain amount of, how do I even answer that? That's a hard question. There's a certain amount of soul and just a certain amount of conviction I feel that went into the songwriting, went
Mhm.
into the production, went into the musicianship and the just the performance element of this that just it's hard to match. I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I've heard different people like certain people talk about, what's the difference with R&B now compared to R&B and soul back then. And a big factor in that, I feel, is a lot of the singers came from gospel, came from the church, right?
True.
So there's a certain soulfulness that is in all the music from back then, where nowadays I don't feel like a lot of artists are coming out of the church into the studio. You know what I mean? So I think that could have something to do with it.
I'm going to add to that because
Yes.
that is very true. If it wasn't just the church, they literally sang on street corners,
Yes.
with each other. I mean, hell,
Yes.
I remember in school, we of course were fans of these folks wouldn't even remember it, but look it up, CBS The White Shadow. We used to sing in the showers together, because of the echo in it. But
Yes.
the other
Acoustics.
acoustics, but the other thing is, it was the passion that was put within the performances, whether it was being recorded or it was live, which is why
Yes.
we bought a lot of live albums, but it was also the lyrics, what was said. A lot of the songs back then, if you had a problem with your significant other and
Mm,
you didn't know how to say what you needed to say, literally, we used the lyrics to these songs
exactly.
because it connected to, or it taught us how to introduce ourselves to somebody
Yes.
without having to use Facebook or Instagram, blah, blah, blah. It
Yeah.
taught
Yeah.
us how to do so many things. It was such a strong passion. Now, I have to add
Yes.
something else.
Hmm.
You were talking about doing Jodeci and all this. Any chance I'm going to be hearing Heat Wave, always and forever,
Woo.
Cameo, Why Have I Lost You?
Yes.
Commodores, Easy
Oh
and
my
Three
goodness.
Times a Lady. Am I going to be able to hear that too?
This is why I am so happy that this is a residency, because there's so much music and now I have the time to spread this out and really get deep into those set lists, into those playlists that, just like you said, that people even forgot that they loved. And when they hear it, they're gonna be like, ooh, I remember this song. You know what I mean? That's why. So a lot of those records, I'm not gonna give too much away, but
Okay.
I think I'm starting from the 70s and I'm going to the early 2000s, not just the ones that a lot of artists would do, but getting into those deeper records. So I
Yes.
promise you, from this era, from the 70s to 2000s, we're getting in deep, my friend. So
Good.
yes, I can reassure you that you will get some of them records that you're hoping for.
Okay. The other thing I'm hoping for too is if I come down here and I
Yes,
bring my girl there and we
yes.
have a great dinner, I hear this music. Are you going to help warm things up so that when we leave, things get even warmer? Because
Oh,
your first
oh,
one is right after Valentine's Day too. So the love is
exactly.
out there.
Yes, I was hoping that we could have started on Valentine's Day, but unfortunately, scheduling and stuff like that. So we're starting the 15th, but I'm doing this as if this is on Valentine's Day. So, it's going to have that, that Valentine's Day, that real love, relationship vibe that will get you ready for when you go home that night.
Okay, so what do we have to do, man, to book? I mean, it sounded like things are booking up fast for this first
Yes.
one. So what do we got to do?
Yeah, so there's about 300 seats for sitting dinner, and there's about 1,000 people standing room. So it's an intimate, setup, but the club itself is big enough, high enough ceilings that it won't feel like it's too, like it's not containing the sound. The sound is going to be huge. I have a link on my Instagram page at Drew Grange, DRUGRANGE. The link is there, ticket port. Click on that, and you can book your dinner and show. If you just want to come to the show, you can also just buy tickets just for the show. You can stand by the bar. or so. But it's about an hour and a half set, but there's an intermission, about a 20-minute intermission. So the first dinner seating is around 7:15. I would advise you to come for the whole show. You know, I don't think, because you're going to be upset when you come, if you come to the second set, or sorry, the second half of the set, and then you see people post what they saw from the first half of the set, and be like, oh, I missed that, I missed this. So I would advise to come for the whole show. But if, you know, I know it's, you know, people have work and it's hard to get there after work sometimes. So
But it's Thursday. It's Thursday.
it's a Thursday, and it's family long weekend, and it's Valentine's. I mean, you got to take your lady somewhere, fellas. You got to take your lady somewhere, man. And if, you know, why not take them to a combined show and dinner, and, you know, still be able to dress up and get that authentic R&B soul, man. So I would advise you come to my Instagram page, and I think it may also be posted on Acqua Supper Club's Instagram page also. And by the way, Acqua Supper Club is located on the exhibition grounds, so there's free parking. There's free parking, which is important in the city. So don't worry about parking. You can come down. You know, I know it's a little after rush hour, but you'll be all right. You'll find parking. You'll be just fine.
One of the last questions I'm be asking. Any chance for every once in a while a guest artist may pop in with you?
Yes, we are going to be booking guest artists very soon. I really want to bring on, you know, the R&B soul artists from Toronto, you know, that I've loved over the years.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to give too much away, but we will be, the first show will not have any guest artists. It will just be me and the recipe, but which is why I'm so happy it's a residency, so I can line up for the following days to have guest artists. So definitely look out for the guests, you know, Toronto R&B singers that you've grown to love. And down the road, I want to bring on US R&B acts to come into the city and be a part of this also. So it's going to be a movie.
Any chance for a second reunion with a certain Juno Award groundbreaking R&B group?
You know, we got back together for the OVO North Star show in 2022. Was it 2022? I think, when
Somewhere around there. Yep.
Yeah, Drake brought us all together. He gave us like a week to pull this show together, but you know, one of our members was in Dubai, and we had to pull it together in a week. But it was such a beautiful, you know, closing to that chapter in all of our lives. You know, so but I'll never rule it out. I've always loved to share the stage with the fellas, you know. So there's, you know, the fact that we are the pioneer R&B Canadian group, you know, I haven't seen another one come up yet. So you know, I think we may have to see what we can do in the near future. We'll see. I'll never close the door.
I love it. Look, I'll let you go, brother. Congratulations. Oh, any new music?
Yes, my new album dropped in 2021.
Okay. We talked about that. Yeah.
Yes, we talked about that. We're almost at 3 million streams now. So yes, so I'm not as focused on original music right now. I'm very focused on this residency, but that's kind of why I'm doing this too, because, you know, people got to take a different route now to get these streams and get these followers. So I really feel like when this residency builds, I'll now have another reason to now put out some new music. So look out for some new music, I would say, in the next year or so.
Oh, I got to throw another. Have you seen her? Shylights. You got to do. Have you seen her, man?
Woo, tell me.
You have to.
Woo, you see, I may have to help you. I'll get you to help me make the set list, bro.
Oh,
you got them big records.
I got a list. Believe
okay, we'll
look,
talk.
Because like I said, youngsters don't understand. Back in the day, when we did actually cassette recordings, you did the fast songs on a 90, and the slow jams are on another one. You had them separate.
Yeah, they couldn't even fit on one because there's too many songs.
Too many songs. So that's why you did fast ones on this one, slow ones on this one. You even did your heartbreak ones and your ones where you knew you wanted to get busy. Yes, yes. Brother, I am so happy for you. This sounds so great. Congratulations on this. Looking forward to being down to the show, looking forward to new music. And like I said, just happy for you to bring what I love so much over the years, man. Congrats.
Thank you, brother. Take care.